Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian turned book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a book called Digital Marketing. And yes, this is a bit outside of my normal scope, so this is a nonfiction book and it's written for both young adults and adults. This actually has a pretty wide accessibility range, and even though it does read as a textbook, budding entrepreneurs who are young adults will also find relevance here. So this book reads kind of like a textbook. It's about 8 chapters, and each of them starts with an introduction, ends with a conclusion, and has a quiz that goes along with it. And you can find the answers to the quiz online. So what's fascinating about this book is, as you can see from the cover, digital marketing is not for the faint of heart. There are a lot of steps involved, and each of these is touched on within this book. So even though there's not a ton of examples or practical application, that really comes with actually doing it. So anyone who's ever really done digital marketing is going to know that you have to try it to see if it works, and each niche is a little bit different. But even though the world of digital marketing is constantly changing, the basic foundations remain the same. So things like email marketing, social media marketing, SEO. And yes, there's a lot of jargon in this book as well, but what's helpful is that the jargon and the acronyms are explained pretty much immediately when they're presented in the text. So even if readers are not familiar with these terms, they will gain familiarity as they read. So one thing that I would like to suggest for this book is to have some references included. So there's a lot of data and examples, but they're not referenced to anything. So, you see 75% of people do this, or this company does this thing. That's great, but without references, it seems a little bit less authentic. So while this is very helpful on its face with the foundational elements of social media and digital marketing, it would be really helpful to enhance its prestige by adding that element. It would also be helpful to have kind of a glossary or index at the end to help people navigate to the pieces of interest. But aside from that, it's presented in a really accessible way. There's lots of white space bullet points focusing on each of the segments in here, and also visual aids along the way. So even if it's a young adult who, maybe is a reluctant reader but is really interested in business, this book can be really helpful. As you can see, there's images like this throughout that kind of illustrate what the book is talking about. And so if the jargon is a bit difficult to wrap your head around, you can get in with the visual instead. So for young adults who are ready to get into business, this is a great size to carry around in your backpack, to check out on your own, and to learn the basic foundations of digital marketing. If this sounds like a great fit for you, make sure you check it out at your favorite bookstore.